Light. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. It is Tuesday. It is open forum. It is live. It is 10:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 23rd of February. And it got up to 50 degrees here today, which felt like, having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. It was nice after being 3 below zero last week. So, Knuckles, how you doing? Russia Barber, blessings be upon you as well. Thank you, and thank all of you for watching. It's an open forum night, and I'm going to talk about. If I don't go too long with everything else, because man, it's just like things just kept happening and happening and happening today. So I'm going to try to talk about one topic and stop, and then go over to the comments and address everybody. True Soldier, what up? Starting off with some sad news. A couple of, I don't know. We have to do better. We have to do better as a society. We have to really come together and display some power, some at minimum political power. Because too many things just keep happening. A 21-year-old black man was shot by police in Indianapolis earlier this afternoon, about 4 p.m. And I had a report from somebody that was there on the scene. 21-year-old black male reportedly first shot at police. He was wanted on outstanding warrants, supposedly. Last known update, in critical condition in the hospital. Multiple police involved in the shooting. We still don't have a specific number yet. The way it played out, there was a traffic stop, and the car pulled over and then sped up as police got out of their vehicle and pulled off and went a block is what was originally reported. Then the passenger in the vehicle, the 21-year-old black male, jumped out of the vehicle and began firing at police officers, and was shot by multiple police officers multiple times. And it was also brought to the attention at the very end of the brief presser, that SWAT was there. And they brought it to attention because SWAT always has a medic with their dispatched with each SWAT deployment. So they made mention that SWAT was there, and a medic started treatment on the suspect right away. Now that told me that chances of a fatality were good because it was kind of a CYA move. And then it also made me wonder, why was SWAT at a traffic stop that, if it only went a block? And again, I reported earlier in this broadcast that it was 50 degrees here today. So most of the snow and ice has dissipated. So it wasn't like it's going to take an extreme amount of time to go a block. So how did SWAT get there? And that's just one of the things about the story. And so I'm waiting. I'm hoping there is body camera footage to either validate what the police have said or to actually show what actually happened. And of course, I've been looking online for anyone that had their phone out and happened to be live streaming it. And I haven't found anything yet. And if you're in this area or you're anywhere, you can search online. If you find something, let me know, please, because I wasn't able to find it in the brief amount of time I took looking for it. So that just brings me to EAR, End All Racism, a movement we've started here, a branch off of this show, and the need. One of the first things we called for was a complete review of police departments in the United States from top to bottom, be conducted independently, and also, with all the technology we have today, why can't a police body cam be turned on as soon as their shift starts and remain on until their shift ends? And the only thing that necessarily would have to be downloaded would be any incidents that the police officers happen to be involved in. That way, you're never going to miss an incident and a chance to prove yourself innocent if you're a police officer and you really are. I would think they would want that, but I don't think that's being fought for very hard. The second story ties right in. A man died 5 days after police officers basically put a knee upon his neck. Does that sound familiar? And I've got to wait. Whoa. A 30-year-old Northern California man undergoing a mental health episode died days after police officers kneeled on the back of his neck for nearly 5 minutes to subdue him. Angelo Quinto had been suffering from anxiety, depression, and paranoia for the previous few months. A lot of us are suffering from a lot of things from previous few months. This has been an incredibly hard time. Just bring that up because don't judge people that are having a hard time. And this is one of the reasons a lot of people are calling for defunding the police, taking away the combat materials, if you will, and turning the resources into social workers that can be deployed as needed in situations like this. And the families have filed a wrongful death claim. They filed it February 18th. And while this story kind of flew under the radar until legal action was taken through the court systems. And it's just another reminder that we can do better and we should be doing better. And then finally, it was announced that the grand jury in Rochester, New York, had decided that the police officers would not be indicted in the death of Daniel Prude. So that's kind of the first segment tonight, that we can do better and we need to do better, and it's our responsibility as citizens that want to see us do better. It's our responsibility to unite, and EAR is an additional way for people to do that, in addition to the other organizations that currently exist. So. And I also bring that up because tomorrow night is EAR, End All Racism Night, here on ADS, American Doofus Show. And it's going to be ladies' night. The panel will be made up of two Maries and a Star. Marie Justice, Marie Bruce, possibly related to, no, I'm not going to make that joke. Marie Justice, Marie Bruce, and Starchild. The three of them will be talking about the role women have played in trying to end racism and trying to bring about equality, and in some cases, the roles women played in just helping to facilitate survival. So that's tomorrow night, and that should be on, depending on how quick I can get it processed, should be on sometime shortly after 9 o'clock. So over to the comments for a few minutes. True Soldier Knuckles, I want to get you guys back on a panel, the two of you. I've had so many comments about the panel that we did, and let's get back on. Let's get you all back on a panel together. I am created. Blessings upon you, sister. Thank you for watching. Thank all of you for watching. Thank you, those of you that are watching after not watching live. And again, Tuesday is kind of anything goes night normally, but so many things have happened that have to be addressed. Tiger Woods in an automobile accident, and Tiger Woods is one of those figures that transcends. He's a worldly figure. He's more than just a celebrity. He's more than just an American golfer. He has, as I said, he kind of has transcended. He is a global persona. And tragically, in case you haven't heard, he had an automobile accident earlier today. And latest was 2 compound fractures in both legs. And if you have any experience with athletics, coming back from compound fractures is all but unheard of. And quarterback for the Washington football team in the NFL, their quarterback Alex Smith came back from incredible compound fracture, and it took him a couple of years. And I just want to wish Tiger Woods a speedy recovery, and I'm glad he's still with us, because as a global persona, he has power, and we've seen that power through Colin Kaepernick. And it's 2021, so 5 years ago, was it? 4 years ago? When was it? 2017 or 2016, when Colin Kaepernick first knelt to draw attention to police brutality. And we opened the show, and the Indianapolis shooting could be completely justified. And I haven't reported it any other way. At the same time, as soon as I got the text, the text said police action shooting is all the police action shooting, and the location is all it said. And I completely trust the person that sent it to me. And I immediately sent it on to a couple other people that I thought would want to know. And there wasn't any mention of the color of the skin of the person that had been shot. I just automatically assumed it was a young black man. And that's the state of the country, the perception. And we need to do better. And we can do better. And no one person or one organization or one movement has all of the answers. So we need, we need all the recommendations. We need all the skills. We need all the passion uh, to start coming forward, because we are in a very dark world, and our country's in a really dark place. And I'm just about to get to that. Um, but sincere prayers for Tiger Woods and anyone else. As far as I know, he was the only one involved, but anyone else involved in that accident and involved in any accident, and to the families and friends of 500,000 people um, that have died because of COVID-19. And that's a massive amount of people. Um, and it's touched my life, and it's touched a lot of my family members. And I got a text this morning that an appointment was available for me to be able to get the vaccination if I chose to do so. And so on March 10th, I'm going to be vaccinated. Um, I'm going to take all my gear with me, and I'm going to try to record the whole thing as an episode. But the thing that kind of pushed me over the line was the New York Times article I shared part of on here. And in that article, it said it alleviates death from the virus, and it all but alleviates hospitalization. It doesn't mean there's a 100 and a flat 100% guarantee you're not going to have anything happen to you. But there's so many things that can kill you. And if you can, and this is just my opinion, I'm not telling anybody else what to do about anything. It's just my opinion. If you can do something to keep yourself from potentially dying, you should do that. And that's the way I finally have chosen to look at this vaccine from my perspective. Now, after I get the shot, if I start growing gills or bat wings or anything out of the ordinary, then we'll have a different opinion. But I'm going into it looking at it that way, that I drive a safe vehicle because I want to be as safe as possible. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get in a car accident. The only way I can avoid that is by never getting in a car. And if I can just take a shot and avoid one possibility of death, 2 shots actually. And it's Pfizer, by the way, if anybody's interested. That's the vaccine I'm going to be getting. And again, that's on March 10th. But in between those times, well, let me hop over here. If anybody is, hi, Sissy McLeod. Thank you for watching. Yimes would that be pronounced Himes? Himes Hisrael. Shalom. Peace be to you. If I mispronounced your name, I apologize deeply and humbly. T-Rex. Tiger Woods is a globally known doofus. No, man, I'm a globally known doofus. I've got viewers in like 7 different countries. He's not a doofus. Well, I'm not going to say he's not a doofus, because the guy's a man. He's done some stupid things. Most men have. Comedic King. Okay, Comedic King, I have not gotten your email. I'll check on it when I get done here. In-law that works at Pfizer. Okay, maybe I should, yeah, I definitely want to hear about that. I want to connect with them, especially before March 10th. Sissy McLeod asks if there's any more news on the 4th of March. And the next topic I have, actually, Grandmaster Jay has done an interview, and I don't know if you've seen it yet or not. The plan was Grandmaster Jay interview in this section right here, but it's going to have its own episode because it's part of the documentation of the NFAC that I've been doing. So um, with EAR and the ladies' night panel tomorrow night. I'm going to do a doofus show tomorrow during the day. So some point during the day, there's going to be a doofus show on the Grandmaster J episode, and that leads us to March the 4th. And for those that don't know, March the 4th is the date that the Constitution originally set for the inauguration of the President of the United States. Up until Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the rule was passed in 1933 that the date would be moved to January 20th. Since 1933, the inauguration's always taken place on January 20th at noon. And the reason it was on March 4th originally was because when it was drawn up, people were traveling by horses and carriages. So it took a lot longer for things to get around. By the time we got to the Civil War and Grant was president, the 18th president, we had a telegraph and things were, information moved much smoother and much faster and much farther. So they eventually decided that they would put the inauguration date in January, so it would be closer to the election, so there wouldn't be such a long period of what is known as lame duckism. That is when a politician is still in power, even though he's been voted out, he hasn't left office yet. And a lot of times those people can get vindictive, believe it or not. So that was why it was done. Now, supposedly this March the 4th, there is going to be something called a swarm. And that is when I am assuming that is when all of the believers of this QAnon, this QAnon conspiracy theory, well, they will all rise up together, or something's going to rise up, possibly spiritually, and take out all of the Democrats, and they will have Donald Trump's inauguration on that date, March the 4th. I haven't done it justice because there are a lot of different little branches that tie together in this conspiracy theory, including, of course, the cabal of international leaders that want one world order and want to control the world. Now, hey, that is not out of the realm of possibility, okay? But logically, if there was going to be somebody from the United States that wanted to be part of a global cabal to control the world, do you think it would be Joe Biden or do you think it would be Donald Trump? Just asking, just something to think about. Which one do you think would want that kind of power? Do you think it would be Joe Biden or do you think it would be Donald Trump? And remember, these ultra-right Republicans have always done this. They create a problem, they blame somebody else for it, and then they claim to be a victim. Now, calling somebody else what you really are is so incredibly dangerous. And think about it, that's what's really happening. What if this Q person and Trump are in cahoots with Putin? And, because this is not just off the top of my head. I've been communicating with somebody that has done a little bit of research and thinks there might be a really serious connection between Trump and Putin, and possibly something bordering on a one world order cabal. So be careful what you wish for, okay? But just suppose this QAnon person and Trump are in cahoots, and they really want to rule the world, and all of Trump's power is based on dark spiritualism. You know, the first thing they're going to do is accuse the other side of what they are doing, and that way it muddies up the water so that the good people appear to be the bad people, and the bad people think they're the good people. They get fooled into thinking they're the good people. And those that try to live Christianity and truly believe that they are actually living Christianity, in that it's about love, it's about peace, it's about taking care of the least among us, that it's not about hate, it's not about supremacy, it's not about the things that it's becoming. And there's going to be a time where there's going to be a definite definition between actual Christians and people that have knowingly or unknowingly morphed Christianity into this self-servient, get out of jail free, all sins erased permanently illusion that justifies to themselves that their actions are not only good but necessary. And that's where I think we find ourselves as we look ahead to March 4th, which is not that far away. It's not that far away. And again, I said a couple of weeks back, yeah, hey, we need to watch out for this March 4th thing when it first came out. And one of the things I said that made me sit up and take notice is when somebody in DC sent me this, sent me a text saying, hey, why would Trump's hotel double its rates for March the 4th? And I was like, whoa. Well, it's March 3rd, March 4th, and March 5th. CNN now has a story about it 2 weeks later, and I'm glad they do. And they verified a couple of things that I'd speculated on, that the hotel is basically empty and been empty since Trump left office. So why would there be a crowd coming in on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March unless they had arranged for some kind of show for these people? Because it's going to be, an average room is $1,000 a night. So you're talking laying out $3,000 to stay there for, and I'm assuming they will probably make it mandatory, that a 3-day stay is mandatory to maximize profits, because there's not a lot of people staying there. And we're in dangerous times. We are in dangerous times. And I was thinking about this today. So many people that you can almost feel it. That so many people are convinced something's going to happen. It's just not what or not when. And it's like, if it's going to happen, just let it happen so that we can adjust and we can know what we're dealing with. And I just get that vibe from so many people. And I just think the next couple of weeks, if you hear anything at all, please share it with me. American Doofus, AMERICANDUFUS @gmail.com. American Doofus, all one word. But that to me was the strongest point, that something was going to happen on March 4th. And I anticipate it being another siege on the Capitol. I think they come this time with more weaponry. They're underground for the most part, and I've put a call out. I put a call out on my personal Facebook page asking for anybody that thought Trump was still the president and they were willing to go to war for that if they would come on and talk to me. Because that's real dangerous thinking. And again, if you just base it on basic math, that 74 million people voted for him. Okay, let's say 80% of those people. It's not. It's close. It's much closer to 65% because 34% of Republicans have said it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. He should still be president. Okay. There are those that want to make him king. There are those that call him savior. But 34% of them, 34% of 7 million or 74 million, it doesn't matter to them what, those are the people that when he said you grab women and you grab them by the, you grab them by the cooter and you kiss them, and the guy he said it to gets fired and gets blackballed from media forever. And the guy that says it gets elected president. And he also said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue in the middle of the afternoon and would still get elected. People still vote for him. So that's scary. That number of people. Now, how many of that 34% will actually take part in some sort of swarm, some sort of uprising, some sort of in their minds cleansing? I hope we never find out. I hope it's all online speculation and we never find out. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And I hope I'm a doofus. I hope absolutely nothing happens. I say that before everything. I said that before the 6th. And I'm going to be reporting on the congressional hearings on things on the 6th, but mainstream media is doing a pretty decent job of covering all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm glad to see CNN kicked up the story about the man that died after police knelt on his neck for 5 minutes. So I'm going to hop over here. Jones Roy, how are you? True. No, you're not. True, you're not blocked from the chat. You're right here, man. I can see you. White man shot 3 black kids, 2 of them dead in Fort Wayne. Man. I did not want to see that right now, but you don't want to see it ever, Okay, I'll get on that as soon as we get done. Actually, true, I don't have a moderator at all. People have said I should have moderators in my chat, and I don't have a moderator at all. So it's probably YouTube that's cutting it off, because it's not me. Obviously, I don't have any control over what's going on at the moment, and I don't have any moderators out there. Hello, Shirley from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hope everything is beautiful in the 919. Just to keep it 100, Trump only won because nobody liked Hillary. The world is not ready for a female president, so be very afraid of Kamala. Um, yeah, that played an absolutely huge part. I'm created. A huge part in Trump winning was the hatred for Hillary, and he pumped that up, and he used it to his advantage. And hate is not a uncommon tool. Division is not an uncommon tool in politics. Um, and again, painting the other person as what you really are is a very effective way of muddying the waters and making it real hard to determine um, what the truth is, and that's a shame when uh, we have the mechanisms to share truth. And anyway, uh, armed protest expected at Grandmaster J next court appearance. Yes, I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow. Um, we need reparations, not a Bible. Um, Sleepy Jim Crow Joe Biden. You know, I understand why a lot of people in the black community don't don't think Joe Biden's going to do anything at all, um, based upon a long record in Congress. Um, but at the same time, people do people do see things differently over time. Some people do. Some people never change, and I think Joe Biden might be seeing things differently than he did in 1985. And I'm going to give him an opportunity to prove that. And he has put forth an incredibly diverse um, group for cabinet positions, especially when you compare the last administration that wasn't. They had tokens here and there, okay, um, but they didn't have a lot of diversity. Their their civil rights commission consisted of 12 white guys. I mean, what equality is going to come out of that? So I'm going to give Biden a few months to see what his administration looks like before passing judgment after the 4 years that we've had. Um, Once a racist, always a racist. Gosh, I hope that's not the case. I hope that people can have a change of heart, but I understand why some people would think that that's never going to be the case. And like I said, I understand why some black people don't want to give Joe Biden a chance at all. I understand why gun owners don't want to give Joe Biden a chance at all with some of the things he's talking about doing. And I, let me let me just be the first, if no one else has said this publicly. President Biden, please keep trying to do the work of advancing equality and freedom in our country, and do not think about taking up the task of trying to disarm regular American citizens. Um, so if somebody could, cut that out and send it to the president, be greatly appreciated. And I think it'd be very, very useful knowledge for him. So, okay, all handpicked bozos. Well, yeah, they are handpicked. They're all handpicked by his committee, or his probably now his chief of staff, and the political advisors of the committee are probably out of the way, and these are more policy people than politicians. But Merrick Garland, um, the person nominated to head the Justice Department, Attorney General, I think is an incredible pick. I've been pretty impressed with the diversity and with the caliber of the handpicked bozos that have been put in there. Again, especially, and this is, I have no love for Trump, but I'm being objective here when I'm talking about appointments and when I'm talking about cabinet positions and qualifications. And yeah, so Betsy DeVos just popped into my head and just made me want to do it. I'll talk about that at some point coming up. Trump International Hotel still has rooms from the 3rd to the 5th of March, over $1,000 a night. Just check, Barry. Thank you, Sissy. Yeah, I reported on that earlier that something's going to be happening. They know the demand for those rooms are going to be there, and they're capitalizing on it. That means they know something we don't know. That means if a QAnon conspiracy is tied to that date, then logically you could, without too much stretch of the imagination, tie QAnon to President Trump, so former President Trump. And if Merrick Garland gets in as the Attorney General, well, first of all, he's already sworn in front of the Senate. A lot of them Republicans, a lot of them didn't want to hear this, but he's sworn that he will, to the fullest extent, prosecute the white supremacists that took part in the White Wednesday of January the 6th. So that to me was a brave statement to make. For as far as politics, it's not a brave statement to have in your heart, but saying it in front of a bunch of senators, including one who actively brought forth a conspiracy theory today during the confirmation that was quickly disputed during the hearings, not the confirmation, my bad, during the hearings about what they're calling the riot on January 6th. Okay, anybody else have anything? Knuckles, no, I don't. I usually don't go over comments in the live chat. The only way to do that is to watch the whole video over again, and I very rarely do that. If I miss something, drop it in the comments once the live's ended, and the comments for those that watch the recorded version. If you think I missed something that I need to know, drop it down there. And pardon me, I will go back and watch that. And I've been going for about 45 minutes here, so I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to save Bigfoot. I got a couple of Bigfoot stories, and no, I have not actually seen Bigfoot. Okay, let me probably shouldn't have done that, because I could have teased it to watch next Tuesday night for open forum, but too much stuff going on today. Again, I'm going to do an episode tomorrow about the Grandmaster Jay interview that just came out, and next week I'm going to talk about Bigfoot, and hopefully there won't be so much so many stories that actually need attention, that I can talk about Bigfoot and some paranormal activities. So we'll try to do that next Tuesday. Tomorrow night, it is ladies' night with Star, Marie Bruce, and Marie Justice. And they're going to be talking about women's roles in movements today and in the past. And it'll be a great panel. It always is. Three intelligent ladies like that speaking their truths. So we look forward to that. Thursday, Friday, I'm not exactly sure what's going to be coming up yet. I'm going to talk to Knuckles and talk to True Soldier, and we might have a panel Friday evening. And if you'd like to, if you've never been on a panel before and you've thought, one of these days I'm going to do that, this is the time. We're looking for a couple of new people, a couple of new opinions, a couple of new sets of experiences, a couple of new truths. So American Doofus, all one word, at gmail.com. And if we do a panel Friday, we'd like to have you on it. So until next time, which will be tomorrow sometime during the day with a Grandmaster Jay, piece on the Grandmaster Jay interview. Until then, it is the American Doofus Show. Thank you all for watching. Jones Roy, True, Moondog, Knuckles, T-Rex, Yimes, James Sweeney. Let me see if I miss anybody. I'm Created. I know Sissy's up in there in the comments somewhere. And I thank all of you out there watching. I love you all. I sincerely do. Wish nothing but peace and blessings upon all of you. I used to say, stay alive at the very end. And somebody pointed out that at the end of Maxwell Mitchell's videos, he says, stay live, because he does live streams, and that's his bag. And he's one of, if not the greatest in the country. And by the way, anybody that knows Maxwell, I'd really like to talk to him about EAR. So if you know Maxwell, put a bug in his ear. I'd love to have him on the show too, of course. He's, and I know all of you viewers would agree with me. He's an incredibly gifted and talented young, powerful black man from Louisville, Kentucky. So I just, sometimes it pops into my head that, stay alive, because it can get dark, the guy suffering from depression and anxiety and even a little paranoia. And the answer is police kneel on his neck. And with the struggles people go through, people are struggling with rent. People are worried about their jobs. People are worried about their health. It's not all that hard to imagine people worrying about their sanity. So let's try to have a little empathy. Let's try to have a little understanding. Let's try to have a little love, a little patience. And remember, we're fighting for truth and justice and equality and powerful, powerful things that are worthy of the struggles we got ahead of us, because we're nowhere near. But we keep talking, we keep organizing, we keep moving forward, we will start to make a difference. And I truly and honestly believe that. And I believe it only because of each and every one of you. And I thank you. Again, it's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Till next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Love you. Peace.